and the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and it is Sunday. And you know what that means? It's time for weekly purchases. That time of the week where we investigate what came through the door via DHL, Amazon, UPS, United States Postal Service, FedEx, and of course, that old KG outlaw, that outlaw to the north, Waylon Jennings. It is the weekly purchases, the end of the week wrap up here on the channel. A lot of fun every week on the weekly purchases. And of course, weekly purchases this week sponsored by our good friends over at jaystoysandgames.com. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 15% in all in-stock items. Got to get a deal out there. And of course, thank you to Jay's Toys and Games for supporting the channel. Some of the best deals in toys. Check them out. You won't be disappointed. But of course, a little bit more housekeeping going on. I did talk about this yesterday in the toy news. We're going to cover it here as well. I have opened up channel memberships here on YouTube. There's a lot of people that, for whatever reason, don't want to go over to Patreon, but they want to get early access to the videos. Now is your opportunity. You can get early access to the videos for both YouTube channels over if you are a YouTube member. So sign up for YouTube memberships if that is your thing. Or, of course, there is the Patreon with different tiers over there, giveaways, glamour shots, and stuff. But if you want just the videos, you can do that on YouTube if that is your thing. So at the end of the day, vote with your wallet, as we always do say. Appreciate the support over there. And I guess speaking of Patreon, this month, the month of April, the giveaway is the Mezco Timber and Snake Eyes. Quite the two-pack here, of course. This will be the giveaway to one member over there on Patreon. Appreciate all the support on Patreon. And then appreciate all the support this week. My new book, available, of course, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. It is the complete guide to the ECW Original San Francisco Toy Makers catalog of figures over the years. Very, very fun here. Like I said, Barnes & Noble and Amazon, softcover, hardcover edition available. And of course, I have to plug it because you know why, Todd McFarlane? You're exactly right. Nobody else will. Who else is going to plug the book? So I got to plug it while it's out. Get it while it's fresh. Brian Myers did write the foreword on this book. A lot of fun, another labor of love if there ever was one. And if you do want a copy, you can order it from me as well. I will have copies coming in the 15th to sell to everyone. So if you guys want some, reach out to me. We'll work it out through social media, whatever, TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com. If you do order from me, I do have the limited edition bookmark I can autograph. People have been asking for my dad and wife to autograph the book. So if you want them or you want my dog Lemmy, whatever you want, we'll put it in there. So check it out, of course. And then, of course, while supplies last, the Kyle Peterson Show sticker will be thrown in as well. Of course, the Kyle Peterson Show, my brand new podcast, 2 weeks under the books, or in the books. How about 2 weeks done? Third one on Patreon already. You're a Patreon member, a YouTube channel member. You got the video early. Of course, audio podcast available every single Tuesday morning, wherever you get your podcasts. Video cast available on YouTube and early on Patreon. A lot of action figure stuff over there, but a lot of other things outside of the action figure world. My wife, Angie, joins us for that. Ask Angie segment over there. Retail story of the week. Oh my gosh, I got some all-timers. Talked about this latest episode that's coming this week. You'll hear all about being mistaken for Jesus, I guess. We'll just give it with that. So we'll talk a little bit of that. We're doing our WrestleMania predictions, my wife and I, and loser has to do something for the other one. I guess you can watch out and find out about that. We got to try a new food over there. A lot of stuff going on every single week on the podcast. Appreciate it if you'd give it a listen. Check it out. Watch the video cast. Whatever floats your boat, of course. But whatever you do, give it the old thumbs up. And if you're listening on the audio podcast, give it the 5 stars, rate and review, all that kind of fun stuff. And we'll get down to business with that there. So a lot of fun on the podcast. I appreciate the support on the channel. We just recently hit 50,000 subscribers, had our 5-year anniversary, all kinds of giveaways, a lot of stuff going on. Couldn't be there without your guys and you gals out there, you gals support. So appreciate all of that, of course. So that is some of the housekeeping this week. And I will say in this very video, one of the biggest weekly purchases of all time. Yes, we've had some big ones, but I got a massive one this week. It's one I didn't want to do. It was going to be a long game that became a right in my face, I better pull the trigger game. We'll talk about that later on in this video, so stay tuned for that. And of course, this week on the channel, a lot of wrestling. AEW Unrivaled Series 17, WWE Elite 117, Monday Night Wars Greatest Hits Series 2, all unboxed on the channel, on the Patreon early. You guys know the drill there. 50,000 subscriber special top 10 on, of course, the ECW Original San Francisco Toy Makers line. Figured that was a good partnership for the 50,000 subscribers. Easy for me to say top 10. Toy Hunt, the great state of Kansas. Rock Chalk Jayhawk to you all. I was down there. Warbird, Professor X, Marvel Legends, Shredder, a couple of varieties of Shredders unboxed this week. Stavros, the Big Bad Toy Store exclusive Myth of Legion figure this week. And also the podcast episode 2 went up this week. And a lot more videos where that was from between both YouTube channels. Appreciate the support over there. Just a lot going on each and every day on this YouTube channel. My other YouTube channel, the podcast, Patreon, YouTube channel memberships. You get the drill by now. The hardest working man in show business. Like a young James Brown at the end of the day. But now, at the end of the day, we got to get down to it. We got to get down to the question of the week. All right, question of the week time. Got my wife, Angie, here. Angie, say hello.
Hello.
Podcast superstar Angie right here with us today. Angie, you enjoying the podcast every Tuesday?
Yes.
Oh, so much fun over there. You want to check out more of Angie, check out the podcast every single Tuesday, new episode. And Angie, as people are watching it right now, YouTube channel members and Patreon members, they already have the newest episode. So shout out to the real ones out there. But we have the videos every single Tuesday, audio wherever you find it. Angie and me, a little bit back and forth. Not all action figures, so make sure you're checking it out. Support Angie and her Starbucks habit. There you go. But Angie, it is time for the question of the week. And if you want to be the question of the week, put your question in the comments down below. And you too may be the question of the week. And we're doing Angie's Corner over there on the podcast. So you can submit podcast questions at TheKylePetersonShow@gmail.com if you have something good for Angie and me to ask about, talk about, whatever, break down over on the podcast. And Angie, I'm being long-worded. How about you? What are you doing?
I'm just here to read a question.
She just here to read a question. She just gets there. She just waits for me. Just waits and I throw you a curveball. There it is. But Angie, you've got the question of the week, and it's a long one, and I got a lot to talk about on this one here. So Angie, take it away with the question of the week.
All right, we got RJ Toy Buzz 4119. We're all getting older and reaching our nostalgia years.
Speak for yourself. I'm getting younger.
Can you describe your perfect night in with the boys when you were a kid? What are you drinking? What are you watching? What are you playing? Save me the code red Mountain Dews.
Oh boy, that
pizza.
That really hits home for the most part. Angie, I'll give this to you though. What was a night in with you and the gals back in the day? You know, what were you up to? Were you up into TGIF, watching Full House, Family Matters, all that stuff, or what were you doing on a Friday night? Take us back to the country.
Casey's Pizza was about exciting as we got.
They had Casey's Pizza back then when you were a kid?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we didn't really have that stuff. That's interesting. A lot of people watch probably have Casey's. It's like one of the top pizza chains in the United States now, but it's from our area originally. But what was a Friday night then? You hanging out with your sisters, probably to eat Casey's Pizza, probably watching TV?
Yeah.
Playing video games. What was that game you loved? Like Earthworm Jim or something like that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Wasn't there like a video game you liked or something? I forget what it was. I felt like it was Earthworm Jim. I don't know why it was that one.
No idea.
I don't know. So you had really exciting times. Well,
green olive pizza.
Green olive. Oh, black olive pizza over here.
We would sing a lot. We wouldn't really sit and watch movies when it was like
you guys would sit around the piano with grandma.
Like that. No, like
and you guys would hum. That's what you do out in the country. You put on a fire to keep warm.
It was more like karaoke with like the black lights going, and posters, and singing.
Incenses going. So not too different than our daughters today, singing and dancing and parading around with their K-pop. Yeah. So that's an interesting one. Well, I'm going to tell you, mine was a lot more exciting than yours. So that's where I'm going to start off. So I'm not sure what years we're talking about. I guess my mind immediately went to like my teen years. I'm talking like 15, 16, 17, maybe somewhere in that mix right there. Obviously, much younger than that. It was usually a sleepover at my friend Joey's. I usually spent the night over there like every Friday, Saturday night. Little
Caesars.
That was back when it came in the long box and had the bread. Oh, baby. Salt of the earth. I was all in. We'd eat Little
99
Caesars.
cents Crazy Bread.
Oh, we would. We'd each get a bag of Crazy Bread. We'd each get our own pizza. We were living that life. And the mom loved it. It was like $7.99 back then for all that. But there was also like a video game store right there. So we usually get a video game or two, maybe a movie. We'd just be eating the pizza. We'd just be living the dream. Just living the dream as a little kid. But then many years later, 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old. I've told the story before. I started working at 14, so I had a lot of friends, and I had a real good buddy of mine that I'd known since kindergarten or so. he worked at the Walgreens next to the grocery store. So we'd both, of course, young kids, you got to work the weekends, you got to work the night shift. We'd have to do like the 4 to 10 o'clock, the 4 to 9 o'clock, sometimes 4 to 11, 11:30 sometimes, probably about 16, 17 era. But he was working at Walgreens, I was working there, but we'd hang out afterwards. We'd have our buddy, another buddy of ours, Carzoli, you know Carzoli, salt of the earth Carzoli, of course. And Carzoli would come over, and sometimes my buddy Scott we'd have a bunch of them. But we'd all head over, we'd all get something to eat. And a lot of times we went to Famous Dave's, and we just actually drove by Famous Dave's just a little bit ago. And it's a barbecue chain in the Midwest, but we would get wings or something like that, usually get a big thing of that, take that back to my house, and then we would play video games and we would watch wrestling. Oh, yes, we would. And we would play Virtual Pro Wrestling and Virtual Pro Wrestling 2. A lot of people like the WCW, NWO Revenges, loved those as well, but we took it one step further. We got the import edition from Japan, and we got the mod on the N64. Virtual Pro Wrestling 2 is my favorite game of all time. Will never be topped, but to take you back to the magic is we'd have our Famous Dave's or a pizza or something like that. We'd always have beef jerky. I always had a wall of Mountain Dew, regular Mountain Dew, full throttle Mountain Dew back in those days. Now I dabble in the diet Mountain Dew. I can't do the regular Mountain Dew, but back then I'd have walls of Mountain Dew in my room. I'd buy it, I'd get it from work, I'd bring it in, and then I'd have the Jack Link's beef jerky too to snack on. So just living that life, just trying to get as much sodium as I could back then, apparently. But we would sit there, and my room was so hot. I don't know what it was about my room. Maybe my parents diverted the air conditioning to it. I don't know what it was. But we would be sweating. It would be like 10 below zero out, and we'd be in
like
there.
Beef jerky.
Oh, yeah, and it smelled great in there. It smelled great. And we would be playing the games. You know, you get heated when you're playing those games, but we would have my window fully open. It'd be like below zero out just to like mix that up. But man, the boys and I, we'd be playing Virtual Pro 2. We were just going all in. I was Misawa a lot of the time. My buddy loved to be Kobayashi. We would go with that. Oh, it's just the greatest time. You should have been there. And then later on, my girlfriend was a big part of that too. She would always come and she would just lay on my bed. We'd be sitting on the chairs and on the floor playing the game. She'd be laying in my bed reading a magazine or something and just, hanging out. And I'm sure, looking back at it, it wasn't you. But she really probably just loved watching that game. I'm sure she did. I'm sure she did.
That's probably why she's not here anymore.
That's why she's not here anymore. Exactly right. But man, we had a lot of battles in that Virtual Pro 2 and all the different games. Even into college years, we'd play Here Comes the Pain, things like that in college. Just great times, great memories. It sucked having to work Friday, Saturday nights, though. That really sucked because we wanted to go out and party. And you couldn't really. We missed like football games sometimes and basketball games. So that did kind of suck. But you know what? You had to get money back then. You had to. If you wanted to fight your way through things, you wanted to be able to buy gas for your car or whatever. You had
beef jerky and do.
Yeah, you had to work. And unfortunately, you couldn't really work during the school week because I think you had to be done by 7 o'clock. And it's a whole thing. But man, oh man, when I read this question, it just brought me back to that. Being extremely hot and sweaty in my room. But me and my buddies, drinking the Mountain Dew, the beef jerky, getting barbecue pizza, just hammering it out. So if I could just go back, maybe we could reenact that one of these days. Invite the old gang all over. Danny, Scott, you'll get them all over here. We'll hang out.
That's crazy.
But there it is. That is my story. A lot more interesting than your story.
Yeah.
I just imagine you and your mom sitting around the piano and you guys, your two sisters and you're just like leaning over and you're singing all in unison.
That was like on Sundays.
Oh, it was worshiping on Sundays. Oh my gosh. That's what I imagine. Just country living at its life. You would go to like church on a Sunday and you come home, sing some songs, have a nice little Sunday dinner. And then of course it's the country. You take a little nap in the afternoon. You bathe up, you do your homework, you go to bed, and you start it all over again. And that's a country Sunday. That's what that is. But there it is. Angie, that's the question of the week.
Beautiful.
If you want to be the question of the week, put your question in the comments down below. And now it's time to dive into the weekly purchases. All right, time for the weekly purchases. Extremely wrestling heavy this week. Basically all wrestling figures. So a big week this week. However, towards the end, we're going to show the major pickup I had. An expensive pickup, but we'll explain it. We'll talk about it. But let's kick it off. And like I said, a very wrestling heavy this week. And let's start off with a little wrestling from Ringside Collectibles using discount code Kyle, save 10%. Already started unboxing these. I had some time this week. Started knocking some of these out at night. Got Rhea Ripley video already up on the channel, but 117 Rhea Ripley. Roman Reigns, of course, 117. Seth freaking Rollins right there. Portillo's favorite son, of course. Grayson Waller, of course, part of 117 with new title belt, of course. Naomi, Let's Feel the Glow Together. That one through the door, part of 117. And then how about a double dose of Axiom? Yes, blue, pink, pick your poison. Axiom regular and Chase edition through the door this week. Already got after that set. Should be finishing up those reviews this week on the channel early, of course, on Patreon and channel memberships. And then via Mattel this week, got to give a special shout out to Mattel. They did send me their John Cena care package here around WrestleMania. Already got the Fan Takeover Ultimate Edition. It's already up on the channel. Check out the video. Have that unboxed already. Have not got to yet, but I will. The future Walmart exclusive, of course, WrestleMania store exclusive. It is John Cena. The farewell tour begins. The last time is now. So I will unbox that on the channel this week. So stay tuned for that John Cena unboxing. Via Ringside as well, I did get my second greatest hits. Great Muda, kind of a greatest hits, but I did get another Great Muda. I wanted to display two different looks. I'm still chasing the Chase Great Muda. Of course, Ringside, by the time I got there, I was in a meeting. I think my pre-order is supposed to be coming in May. So hopefully sooner rather than later, I can get my Great Muda Chase and we'll unbox that on the channel. But I got another red one for the collection. The hits keep on coming from Mattel. How about the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes Greatest Hits Edition Cody Rhodes? The bane of being an ultimate, or once again, I can't speak today, an elite completist. And I guess ultimate too, in all honesty. But I have all the elite figures. You guys know that. And that includes getting these greatest hits where a lot of time there's very subtle differences or barely differences at all. But I got that Cody right there. Same thing, got Steve Austin. This was the Royal Rumble Target exclusive a couple years back. Updated with pinless joints, all that kind of stuff going on. Got Stone Cold right there. The one I was most excited about of the bunch of these greatest hits is the Gunther, of course. I guess it's a go back between the Ringside exclusive with this robe. However, it's skinnier Gunther, so this one really feels a lot different. So, of course, we'll do comparisons of that one. And then the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. I swear I have like 5 of this figure already, but what's one more, huh? Guess just have to display them a little bit differently. But we do got the Roman Reigns greatest hits, the latest wave of greatest hits. We'll be unboxing those on the channel as well. But we're not done with wrestling figures from Ringside Collectibles. I did get Kill Switch. Now, crazy Kill Switch times around these parts is I did get my original order and I had to reach out to Ringside and Salt of the Earth Ringside, of course, fixed the problem. If you guys noticed, look at this Kill Switch. He is missing his belt. I don't know how that happened there, but I reached out to Ringside. They sent me a replacement right away. So I was very happy to get this one replaced. So I will be unboxing Kill Switch. I am so excited for this figure. You know what I like. I like hairy bipedal creatures. I like big figures. I like masked individuals. I like cryptids. This one plays all the hits for me. Cannot wait to get this out of the package. But it's a figure so nice, I guess I accidentally ordered it twice as I have another Kill Switch. May give this away in the future. I don't know if there's a giveaway I could do with the podcast. I don't know how I could do that. I'd have to figure something out. Like if you guys gave me a 5-star rating, I could give this away to one lucky viewer. I just don't know how that would work, but maybe we can figure something out. Or if you know a way, feel free to message me or hit me up at TheKylePetersonShow@gmail.com. Or I might just keep them in on card one. I don't know, but I'm all in on the Luchasauruses and the Kill Switches too. I'm here for it. Happy to get that one in the collection. And then I took advantage of this deal, and I think it's still up there. If you go to eBay, Target has their own eBay account where they liquidate a lot of merchandise. I picked one of these up and I shot an offer in there. Ended up being $10 shipped, and they did accept the offer. So for $10, I got the Britt Baker Supreme. I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but for $10, I felt like that was a great deal. Could be good for a custom. Could be just good to make 2 different versions of Britt Baker. But either way you slice it, a Supreme for $10, I don't care who it is a heck of a value. So I did get that one as well. And we're almost done with round number 1. Got one last thing, and I got this in the mail today, a special gift from our friends over there at the Major Bendy's toy line, of course, the big rubber guys. They did send me their brand new Spider-Man comic. You got Kanik, Matt, and Brian on the front cover. Pretty cool idea here. Has to be really awesome for Kanik, as he is a big comic book guy, but an official Marvel release here with them on the cover, the Major Boys. But the big one they did send me is an early sneak peek, so we will unbox this on the channel. It is the WrestleCon exclusive 1 of 500 Bloody Edition Harley Race. And as I'm filming this, and as this came in the mail today, it is Harley Race's birthday, if I'm not mistaken. So very cool fitting of that, getting Harley Race through the door. We'll compare it to the other one, but pretty cool to see this one. I would love to see more of these things in the future. Can't wait to see what they have in store for San Diego Comic-Con as well. This will be available at WrestleCon here in about a week. Only 500 made, but you guys know the drill. Whatever is left will be on their website probably Monday, Tuesday after WrestleMania, so be ready for that. But thank you to the major pod guys over there, the Major Bendies, Canik, everybody, for sending that my way to check out. But that's it. That's round number 1. We got a quick round number 2, but an expensive round number 2. All right, let's bring home the weekly purchases. And like I said, we got a big one here at the end. We got a few more things here, and I got to give a special shout out to good brother of the channel, Michael Campbell. Mike Campbell, I remember your days when you just started with Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers once upon a time. We'll never forget those. And as Tom once told me, you know, the waiting is the hardest part. But Michael sent me a nice little package from Thailand, of all places. And Michael's part of the Army. He's traveling all over the world. He said he had to sell his collection, and he lives vicariously through these videos. So I do appreciate the support over there. Appreciate the kind words. And thank you for your service over there, and apparently bringing you to Thailand along the way. But he did send me something, a little Spider-Man figure, and something I've never seen before in my life. From the company More Storm. Spider-Man, of course, right there. He sent that my way to check out. And we'll review this one on probably Kyle Peterson 2.0. But an interesting looking Spider-Man figure. I've never seen this, never heard of the company or anything. But very, very interesting. But he brought this back from Thailand and sent it my way. Appreciate that very much, Michael. Hopefully travels went well, and appreciate that out there. So thank you to you once again. But the old Spider-Man through the door right here, but we're not done. Got a little Cyclops action, slowly building this Nemesis Build-A-Figure. I need to get around to unboxing some of these Marvel figures. I did do Warbird, and I did do the Professor X this week. Probably going to start in on this Build-A-Figure wave this week as well. So stay tuned for that. We got another version of Cyclops into the collection. And then just right before I started filming this, I had to go to my local Target, the Great Almond Hunt of 2025. Trying to find almonds. Oh, save it for the figure hunt next week, I guess. You'll see that. But I did go to, of course, you're getting almonds at Target. You know what? You're going to go to the toy aisle. That's exactly what I did. And they got a little special going on. $9.97 on the Simpsons figures. Found the brand new Bart Simpson just chilling on the peg right there. So I had to pick that one up. And then last but not least, Bumblebee Man. Now, I'm pretty sure that Barney and Carl were probably in the back because the rest of the pegs were full with these. So they probably put these two out, put the two to the back room. But I am not one that goes and bugs the employee. Could you go back there and find this? It's just, I'll find it when I find it. It's not that big a deal to me. And it's just always being a nuisance. And I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. But I did get these two in the collection. So probably unbox these two together. It probably works out better that Barney and Carl would be in their same unboxing together. So there it is. Or was it Lenny? Now I'm getting confused. Oh, it was Carl. Okay. I'm just trying to confuse myself. I already unboxed Lenny. You guys remember that unboxing on the channel. But now that's it. That's the weekly purchase, except we got one more. And this came up in the Major Wrestling Figure Pod Facebook group. Of course, they have some sales and some deals. People swapping, trading, selling and stuff. Well, there was a deal that came up and it was almost too good to be true. This was on a long game list for me. I wanted to complete this toy line. I was going to do it very slowly, as some of them are reasonably priced. Some of them are extremely, extremely expensive. However, this was an entire set, minty, basically fresh off the card shape, and a steal of a price. Reached out to the seller, started some negotiations there. A lot of trust between us, so it worked out very well, and I ended up pulling the trigger. It was an expensive pickup. However, it was something I wanted to do, and it goes back to kind of the classic Superstars days. When I picked up that second collection, it was a lot cheaper to rent a van, drive 5 hours, buy all of them at once instead of piecing them together, paying shipping, taxes, all the stuff all over the time. So it was easier to buy it all at once, even if I didn't like pushing that send on the old PayPal. However, I did do it. What did I pick up this week? How about the Kellyan, a complete Kellyan line, of course, down from Mexico, one of the famed wrestling series of all time. There's Conan. Remember Conan once upon a time? Back when he looked like that. Oh, we got a little Santo, a little Panther. Got all of it. We're going to try to go fast through these here. Great Sasuke, an all-timer if there ever was one. La Parka. Oh, man, my favorite luchador of all time, of course. Got a few more guys here. A lot going on. Like I said, minty mint right here. Fresh off the packaging. Got a little heavy metal. Everybody loves a little heavy metal, don't they? Got that one going there. And then the two jewels of the line. The Psychosis figure. Obviously, we all remember him from his time in ECW, WCW, WWE even. And of course, as a luchador down in Mexico. But the prime one, the most expensive one, it is the Rey Mysterio rookie figure. Rey Mysterio's first ever figure. One of the most expensive figures, obviously, in wrestling history here. And one that'll probably keep going up in value because it is his rookie figure. but very happy to get all this done at once instead of slowly piecing it out. Very happy I got all these ones here. Now, it makes me want to go back and get all the CMLL figures. I've been wanting to pick that one up. I was going to start with that one because it's a little cheaper, but now this gives me a little shot in the arm to get all the CMLL OSFTM figures in my collection as well. But pretty cool to have all these. Like I said, one of the most expensive figures you'll ever see is this Rey Mysterio. So a lot of fun right here. Hurt the wallet, but in the long run, it's all about justification. You got to justify it to yourself. In the long run, I saved a lot of money by buying the complete collection at once. So got to get a deal. Whatever you want to use, you got to do it. You got to make your money work for you, not for them. I don't know. Whatever the saying may be, I did pick all these ones up. A very pricey weekly purchases. I don't even want to say how much I paid for this, but very happy to get this in my collection. So shout out to Mark over there for selling it to me. So there it is. There's the weekly purchases this week. What did you pick up? Any excitement for you? Let me know in the comments down below. Of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that usual stuff. Check out YouTube channel memberships. Check out the Patreon for early access to everything we do between the podcast and the channels. And speaking of the podcast, once again, check out the new podcast week number 3 coming up on Tuesday early for Patreon. If you missed episode 1, episode 2, go back and check it out. I would appreciate that. Appreciate all the support over there. Sir Paul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok as well. And my new book, available on Barnes & Noble and, of course, Amazon or via me, if that is your thing. So there it is, another week of the weekly purchases. Until next time, you know what I'm doing. I'm rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling my way into another work week.
Well, are we going to dance or are we going to play?
We're going to